Hey guys, it's Katie from It's a Mother Thing, and today I wanted to bring you a few thrift cycles, I guess you would call them. Uh, as you guys know, I just recently redid my entire dining room, and that included quite a lot of crafting and little DIY projects to make it just a nicer space. So I did a bunch of little decor pieces, including the following three, which I'm going to show you. Now, all of these started out as thrift store finds, and I've just kind of made them my own so that they would go with the space. So they're all pretty simple, but I just thought it would be really fun to show you how I turned some things that weren't necessarily my style into something that looked really beautiful in my new dining room. So come and see what we made, and if you like it, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. I would really love to see you guys more. All right, let's take a look. So the first project that I took on were these really cute candlesticks that I got from Goodwill. I think it was $3 for the pair of them, and I got them a few years ago and never really did anything with them. They've always kind of been on display in different sections of my house. So I decided I wanted to do something with them for the dining room project. And what I decided was that I would use some of my jute string to wrap it around the base and a little bit up the actual column on the candlesticks. I originally thought about painting them, but I really like the green color, especially because it's kind of mottled and there's some oranges and yellows in there, and I think it looks really cool. And with the color that I painted my dining room, which was a kind of blue-green color, I thought they just would really look nice. And instead of kind of painting them with chalk paint, I just went with the original. So I covered the base in the jute string, and I really liked it, but I thought it needed a little bit more, so I went up about halfway up the candlestick and just started adding more. And so you kind of get this sort of two-tone effect with the string and the green and the yellows and the oranges, and nothing's really totally covered up. It gives it a little bit more structure, makes them a little weightier, which I really liked, and I think it looked really good, and especially as I tried to add in a jute string a few more places in the dining room. I think it just went really well. So I glued down the final piece, and that was it. I did both of them the same way, added a couple of candlesticks, and up they went to be displayed. So next up, I had this planter box, and I actually didn't get this from a thrift store. It was actually from a yard sale. Originally it was from Ross, and it was $7.99, but I think I only paid $1 for it at the garage sale. So the first thing I did is I actually covered it in some chalk paint. I went for white, and I knew it was going to take a few coats because there was that bright red herb sign on there, and I knew it was going to take a while to cover that up. But for some reason, as I went along, I just thought maybe it was a little too plain, just doing white. So I kind of got inspired by the rope on the ends, and I thought I wanted to make it more nautical. And so I started thinking about kind of a seaside planter of some sort, and I don't know where my head was at. I ended up adding, I did the coat of white, and then I ended up adding some sort of light blue color that I mixed. And I don't know what happened. It didn't quite turn out the way I hoped. But after a couple of coats of gray, and then the blue, and then some white, and some more gray, and some more white, and it ended up kind of having I don't know, an interesting look. I don't know what you guys think. I think I like it. I think it came out okay. At this point, I kind of took a paper towel and started rubbing the paint because it just wasn't blending the way I wanted it to. The bottom parts were kind of dry and the top was really wet. And I really wanted to get a kind of more even coverage, but I also kind of wanted to make it look weathered. I don't know what I was going for. I was very confused in my thoughts, so I made a lot of mistakes. But I think it turned out great in the end. As you can see, I was just adding more and more paint and kind of rubbing it in and hoping for the best. And then I just took my black Posca pen, and it's a paint pen, and I just wrote family on one side and blessed on the other, and used a little bit of sandpaper to sand it down so it looks kind of faded and old, and I really liked it. And then I found this Spanish moss from the dollar store, and I used a bag of that to fill in the different areas of the planter, and then I took some dollar store flowers in nice colors that I thought would work well, and kind of cut them up and got them ready to put in there. I wish I had bought another bag or even 2 bags of Spanish moss because it didn't quite fill up the wells as much as I wanted it to, but the flowers still stuck in there really well. I didn't glue anything, I just kind of arranged them because I wasn't entirely sure I was going to keep this. I still may go back to it and do something about it, but at the moment I think it turned out okay. And there it is. I put it up on a shelf just for the purposes of this video, but it was meant to be a table setting, but I don't know, it's gone in a few different places in my dining room since I got it finished. And then finally, my last project. I lost the footage of the beginning of this, which was showing you how the bucket looked originally, but basically it was a Miller Lite beer bucket that I found at Goodwill. And the lady at the counter thought it was hilarious. She thought I was a diehard Miller Lite fan, but I told her I had big plans for it. And I did. What I did is I painted it white with some chalk paint, and then I roughed it up a little bit with sandpaper because I wanted it to look a bit weathered. And then I added my jute string all around the top. I've seen this done with smaller buckets that people get from the Dollar Tree, but I really wanted it. I thought I was so lucky when I found the big bucket, so that I can make a planter out of it. So I wrapped the jute string around the top, and then I added this little burlap flower that I found. I think I found it at Walmart for like $1 or $2, and I thought it would look really cute. So I added that on top of the jute string. I also burnt my hand quite a few times while I was using the glue gun, so you can kind of see me shaking my fingers and sucking on my thumb. Once the burlap rose was added, I wanted to use these Dollar Tree metal signs that I found, and I thought the harvest would be perfect for this. I tried hot glue, but it didn't really work that well, so I switched to super glue, which I also found at the Dollar Tree. And I just used a piece of painter's tape to kind of hold it in place while it dried, and it only took about 30 seconds or a minute, and then I was able to pull the tape off and everything was perfect. So I filled the bucket with a little bit of newspaper, put my planter in, wrapped some more newspaper around it just to keep it centered, and that was it. How good does that look right on my new table? And that table, I will tell you, it had quite its own makeover, and you'll see that in my next video. But for now, I think this turned out really well. Okay guys, what did you think? Did you like these projects? I really thought they came out really well. They're all from the thrift store. I think all in, it only cost me less than $10 to do all of these projects, and they really made a difference in my new dining room. I think they turned out really lovely. If you like this video, please don't forget to give us a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because we're going to be releasing lots more of these kinds of videos. Also, don't forget to check out the dining room makeover video where these crafts are featured prominently. All right, I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Oh, a mother thing, just another mother thing. You